Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another PGA Tour Challenge Circuit course guide. I'm your host, Respawn TV, and today I have for you Gator Creek Country Club for the Steamin' Willie Charity Classic. Oh man, some of these names on tournaments are beautiful. This is a Victory Lane Sports original, though. I've actually played it a few times prior to even playing it, getting ready for the course guide this week. This is a course that you're going to want to stay very tight in the fairways. Going off the beaten path can really get you into a lot of trouble, but it is a course that can be scored on in droves. I think I'm averaging right now for round number one about a 10 to 12 under. I've shot a 15 under here, but I know that as soon as I load this course up to actually start this course guide, it's all going to go to hell. And before we get out onto the course, just a couple of things that I want to go over. Tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I'm hoping tomorrow, I got a pretty big video coming out. I would really appreciate if you guys watched it, shared it, gave your thoughts on it. I kind of want to use it to gather up a lot of stuff within the community. So be on the lookout for that. I really hope I get it done, and if I do, it'll be released sometime around noon my time, Eastern. Lastly, before we head out into the course, again, if this video helps you or if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to leave a like on the video. It helps the channel out, helps the video out, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. It's the best way to get notified for when a new video goes up. But let's head out into the course. Gator Creek Country Club, Victory Lane Sports, CC Course Guide. Let's get this started. Settings for round number one are actually pretty straightforward for this course too. It's firm, fast, low wind is what you have to work with this week. Low wind. But here we go. Hole number one. You can actually go right up and over these trees. Even if you hit these trees, which you can sometimes hit this left one, you still end up in the fairway because it's so close to the fairway. I suggest that you add a little bit of a draw to it to come into this fairway. You can go and perch up into the rough. This hole, though, not too bad to recover from if that happens. But yeah, just grip and rip. And you'll get to see me play from the rough. Maybe even the bunker here. Bunker. It's actually not too bad to play from here, though, because you have a pretty short perched up shot here. You kind of want to put it off to the right. You can go right at the hole if you want to. I don't suggest it, especially if you end up in the bunker here, because if you hit it long, you have to come up the hill, and then you have to worry about coming down the hill. So my suggestion, just poop it out here to the right. And don't even worry about that. At least give yourself a shot at a birdie here. And this putt is a hell of a lot easier than hitting it long and going down. If you hit fairway on this, like if I would have fasted it actually a little bit better, you're going to be bringing in a wedge. Attack the hell out of the hole. Attack it every single time. But at least here, we have a shot to get ourselves a nice little birdie to start it off. Speed looks good. Oh, I shorted it a touch. That should have been a birdie. That should have been our first hole birdie right there. That's all right. Can't win them all, really. Okay, for me, landing this a little bit short actually works out the best. Even though this is uphill, this thing rolls out quite a bit. Just because of the way it's sloping out to the right, it actually rolls out more than you expect it's going to roll out. So I attack, but I attack short. If you hit it long, you're gonna end up rolling out pretty hard to the right and have yourself a little bit of a tough shot coming in for your birdie. So I suggest going a little bit short. Even if you end up in the rough down here, honestly, you have a better chance of chipping this in than you do if you go down over here. Because if you hit it long, it's going to hit this, and it's going to roll all the way. So I suggest shorter is better here, for sure. I actually fasted a lot on this hole, so hopefully I don't do that. Instead I slowed it. Well, you get to see what this looks like. It's pretty nasty over here. This putt is not fun. Try to avoid this at all costs. I won't do what I do. I've been fasting it so much this hole. I tried to take a little bit off and I ended up really slowing it, which sucks. All right, let's see. How far up are we? About 30, 15, 44, 93. All right. Yeah, 93. Okay. We're going to have to get this off to the right a bit. Hitting it so hard, though, we are going to beat through some of this. I would love to bury like a crazy one here. But the name of the game, what I always tell people, just try to get it within 5 feet. That's all you want to do. 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet. If it goes in, great. But just get it within 5. Perfect. Perfect. And just like that, we get our par, we move on to the next hole. We'll take that. All right, I actually got the wind to me here. Okay. I always add a little bit of a fade into this. I try to land it. I want to land it right in this area right here. This slopes out to the right. And if you end up down here in this little like waist area, it's actually not too bad. So don't be too conscious about it. You can play it back if you really want to. I mean, playing it back to the 245. I mean, look, you're bringing a wedge in. So if you want to play it safe, you can. I like my pitch shots a little bit better just because I like to kind of stick it close. So that's what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to get a driver up here. We're going to try to bring a nice little pitch shot in. You'll see this all fade out to the right here. Well, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. And now we're going to try to stick this pitch shot nice and close. And I fasted it, but it should still stick good. That'll work. Didn't want to fast that, that's for sure. There is some ghost break here. I suggest getting down and looking at it. Like, this looks like it's going to break off to the left a little bit. So I'm going to play for that. And it did, just a touch. Ooh, it actually broke back to the right at the end. Okay. We still made it. First birdie. We'll take that any day of the week. Give me them birdies. First par 5. I mean, I feel like I kind of feel like I need a shirt because I say this fucking so much. Grip and rip. Just grip and rip it. You're downhill. I suggest adding a little bit of draw. You have to work with these fairways that you get. I suggest a touch of draw and just get it into the fairway. Even with the firm fairways, you shouldn't skip out into the rough. You should still end short, which we're going to do. And this at least gives us a chance to go for it in 2. This is a little bit of a longer par 4, as you can see. You're going to be bringing driver in. This is the thing with this par 5. You can make it with the driver. No matter how fast you're coming into this, though, even if you're creeping up, it still rolls usually all the way down. But it at least gives you a chance at an eagle. So because of that, I always say, go for it. I'm going to try to add a little bit of spin to this, even though you're not going to get much with the driver off the deck. Because I want to try to get it to stop as best as I possibly can. We're not going to get there. But we at least get close to bring in a splash here. Getting all. Oh! Oh! Dang. Hopefully we can get ourselves another birdie. I'm going to just take a peek at it. Yeah, this looks actually fairly straight. I pulled it. Oh, we got it right though. I definitely pulled that. I pulled that bad. But another birdie on the board, which is what we're looking for. We just got to keep that up. All right, this is actually a hole that is best if you lay up. Taking the big boy in, you're going to almost always end up in the rough unless you really draw it in. I just suggest 3-wood, 5-wood, whatever you're comfortable with. Just keep this ball left side. It will funnel back to the right. Just keep it fairway. Bring a 6-7 iron in and try to stick it close and then move on. You can get it up there and you will be hitting a rough shot. The only dumpy thing is you usually get a really bad lie, and hitting into this is kind of a nightmare. You'll end up short sometimes, you'll roll all the way back down. You might hit it long, get a bad bounce, and it runs all the way to the right and then back down off the green down here. So I suggest just getting a nice little iron in here. You can use that back as a backstop. And just try to get it close. This is one of the hardest holes I've found to get birdie on. At least for me. Especially when we're slowing it. We'll have a putt at it. It's not going to be fun, though. Eh, not too bad. Actually, one of my better putts from down here. Oh, let's see if we can make it. 12 to 33. All right. I'm shorting everything. Okay. Well, time to make a little bit of an adjustment and add a little bit of mustard. Another hole, layup. No point in taking driver in. I mean, unless you want to get into a part of getting to a pitch. But I've hit it like behind that tree before. So it's just not worth it. Just take out a 3-wood, slam it down the middle. You're still gonna have a wedge coming in. We're actually slightly in between. That's okay. We're going to take a little bit off here. We're going to use this downslope to our advantage. Fairly straightforward pin, but you are coming into a downslope, so you're going to get a pretty good bounce. Wow, I'm actually slowing everything. Good thing this all funnels down towards the hole. I am slowing everything, though. That's not good. We're going to have to get that. We're gonna have to get that. We're gonna have to get that figured out. All right, let's see if we can bury a putt here. I hit it too hard. Because of that, I missed. Gosh darn it. Okay. Okay. Told you, man. As soon as I swear, as soon as I load these things up, everything goes bad. Shorter par 5 here. Again, this is a grip and rip. I do a slight draw. Very, very, very slight draw here. But you're going to want to try to get it right down the middle. Perfect. If you play right side, that's fine. If you want to fade it in, if you're worried about going into the rough, you can fade it in a little bit too. You can hit it straight up. Playing to the right side is actually fine because it all funnels back into the fairway. And here we go. Nice little short entry into here. I want to take a touch off because we are going to get a nice little bounce coming up with this 3-iron. We are going to be fasting and we are going to be going for a little bit of an overpower. All right, let's see if we can bring this in. It's gonna be too high up on the left. Yep. Didn't quite get enough and a little bit too high up on the left. We needed to hit that a little bit more solid on the green. But the thing is, we still have a chance at an eagle, which is really what we're looking for. I didn't get enough power on that either. Still not a terrible putt though. $57. I'm gonna give it a little bit extra. Gotta watch out though, because it does go downhill past the hole. So do have to be very mindful of that. That's good power though. The ball. Oh, gosh. Touch off. We still get a nice little easy birdie though here, which is good. Moves to 3 under. Play this slope to your advantage. All of this right here. Hit it, run it down towards the hole. That is your chance to get this thing into the cup for a hole-in-one. Use this slope to your advantage and run it down towards the hole. Get it a little short. You can play it off to the right too and run it towards the hole as well. This just gets a little bit more extreme and a little bit, harder to control. Landing it short here and funneling it down towards the hole into that upslope just works a little bit better for me. But either way, works. This is a little bit more risky. Gives you a little bit more reward. This is safer. If you mess the shot up though, you're in very big trouble. So just kind of be a little be careful there. If you hit a slow here and end up on that top platform, doesn't matter how light you hit it, you're not gonna hit the right distance coming down that hill. So, but I mean, here you have the chance of fasting it and putting it into the water. We're gonna try not to do that. Usually with the fast though, it gets over. Okay, hit it perfect. Little long, touch long. Touch long. But we have this backstop to work with, so it's gonna slow down. And we're still gonna have a putt in here. Pretty straightforward putt too. That was a touch long though. I should have lofted it even more. Or maybe even clubbed down again. Usually that iron doesn't go that long. I think I messed my loft up. Well, this says it's straight, but gosh, I just don't believe you. It looks pretty flat though. We're gonna try it. take a birdie. We'll take a birdie. Kind of getting it moving now. All right, this all slopes out left. I suggest fading it in to work into that slope. This all slopes out left hard, though. A lot of times I've ended up in the rough on this hole. You got to keep this right. You have to keep this right. You're up on a platform. Long is better than short. Short, I've actually landed, hit, and ran almost all the way off the green, which is actually better than being down here putting up this hill. If anything, you want it to go a little bit long, but you can use this hill to your advantage to kind of attack the hole a little bit, which I'm actually going to do here. But if we go a little bit long, that's okay. That is a-okay if we go a little long. Well, that's a really good attack. Let's see. Can we get another birdie to close this out? Get us to a 5 under at the turn. Not the easiest of putts. Good enough for it, though. All right. We turn to 5 under at the turn. We will take that. Like I said, there's the rest of the CC right now for round 1. This course is scoreable. It really is. I mean, with the water, you can definitely get into trouble, but still pretty scoreable. This is one that I suggest that you driver no matter what. You'll be very close. Even if you go into the rough, you'll be fine. You can play it back. I mean, the safest bet is a 3-iron. So you'll have, $150 to go if you want to do that. The way that this green's set up, though, it's kind of short side with a pretty thick slope coming back off the green. So I try to get this as close as possible. Again, I'm going to be doing a tight little fade to try to work with this fairway to kind of funnel it back towards the middle. See what we get. That'll be perfect. And we'll have a nice little pitch coming in here. And you'll see what I mean by this green here in a second. So this is what I mean. Short side green, sloping heavily off. I just don't like taking, 6-iron with this. I mean, you can use the back. You can use that little hill back there as a backstop. But I would much rather bring in a nice little pitch and spin this thing and try to get it close. Which is what we want to do right here. Hopefully we don't slow it. Please don't slow it. Nice. And here we have a nice little 9-footer in for birdie. See if we can bury this home. Yes, we can. It's a good way to start off back 9. Nice little birdie. Tough. That's a tough little hole to birdie. But even if you end up in the rough there or the sand trap, you can still actually recover pretty nicely to stick that one close. That's why I always suggest to grip and rip driver there. All right. Tough par 5 to go 4 and 2, that is. Again, I'm going to do a little bit of a draw here. You get pretty danger close if you do this. Into those trees on the right, but you can fade this really nicely up towards the base of this hill in the center of the fairway, which is what we want to do. Yes, perfect. Perfect. Right to the base of that hill. This is where it gets interesting. So, you can get greedy here, which I'm going to do, because I always do. But if you play this back, you'll have a very straightforward pitch shot coming in. for your second shot. So play this back, completely fine. I don't do that though. We're going to overpower this 3-wood and try to run this. Keep it right side. You want it, at the end of the day, to funnel back here, if you can. Ending short here isn't too bad. If you end up in the rough, that's okay. If you end up in the rough over here, that's okay too. But what we want to do is try to keep this 3-wood here, have it run up and funnel back into this region to give us a nice little even shot. That's what we're hoping to do. The problem with this shot is you have to overpower it, and you actually have to fade this a touch. Because you have to work with this freaking huge-ass tree right in front of you. So we're going to try. We're going to try to overpower this. Fade it slightly. Not the best of lies either. We're going to try to land this thing kind of like right side, mid-right side green. And try to funnel it using that big old hill right there. You have to overpower it though. I think from here, probably like a 103, 104. So we'll see what happens. I might cane it right into the water. That's always a possibility. But we always go for it. So these course guides are no exception. Come on, baby. This might actually still work out. That got a lot further up than I thought. Funnel's exactly where we want. That actually got up a lot further than I thought it would. But this is exactly where I wanted it. I wasn't expecting 100, 105. 103 was what I was expecting. I made it pretty far up on that green, so we don't even have to worry about the hill making it that far up. So we'll take it. This is exactly where I want it for that chance at an eagle. This gives you your best chance at an eagle. See if maybe we can bury this. That would be great. That'd be really great. We have to protect a little bit because it does slope out downhill, but see if maybe we can butter one home. Touch too hard. Still good. Still get a birdie, which I'm fine. I'm fine with a birdie, for sure. A little bit of a tear here. Five under last 5 holes. Okay. This one, again, you can play it back. You have a better chance playing this back at keeping fairway. But you have a pretty long shot coming in for your second. So this is one of those holes where it's a little bit of a risk to go for it. But if you can keep this thing in the fairway, you're going to have to fade it in because this does slope out pretty hard here in the landing zone. It does slope out. You do have a little bit of a reprieve here that it kind of starts to funnel back towards the fairway. But you have to try to just keep this right side. Left side gets a little sketchy. So I say go for it here with a driver. Give yourself a chance at a birdie. We didn't fast that enough. But you can play it back. But you'll see, you can still play this out of the rough, this hole, pretty easily. You got a nice little platform here that you're working with. And we are going to try to get this to run up a touch and get onto that next platform. Much rather play it from the fairway. We'd be able to actually stick it close with a nice little wedge or 9-iron. Hit a bad shot. Not much you can do about it. I'm going to play this a little bit of a draw because I want this to run. You just need to get up to the second platform, which we did. All right. That's all you're wanting to do from the rough there. Just get it up to the second level. You do not want to land this short. You don't want to end up down there putting. You just don't. See if we can make one. Let's see if we can make one. Beauty. Absolute beauty. Replay for emo? Yeah, you watch this replay. That was a big putt. Big putt. And we keep our tear going. We're on a really big tear right now. All right, for me, personally, a straight up 3-iron, fasting it, plays out the best here. It runs up nicely. Really, it's just dependent on whatever works best for you. I have found that landing this thing like here and running it up towards the hole is because you're going to get a pretty big rollout here. I take a touch off, but we're gonna try to get this just to land short green or short fairway and roll up that hill. The 3-iron is gonna roll out a ton, so you have to give it some time to actually stop. So that's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to get this 3-iron to hit a little short and roll up towards the hole. Perfect. Touch long. Touch long, but not too bad. See if we can get this thing to roll in. Not enough power. Not enough power. Not enough juice on that one. We'll take a par. We just went a touch too long. That was all. Just a touch. Got it about where I wanted it, though. All right. Another scenario of don't be a hero. I mean, you can if you want to be. If you want to... And I've done it. I mean, I've done it a lot on this course. Where I just slam it up here. But honestly, like, hitting a nice little solid overpowered 3-iron, or, I mean, taking a little off of a 3-wood, it plays fine down here. Except don't very fast it. We made this hole a little bit longer than I wanted it. Bringing a 4-iron in. That was a very bad time to very fast it. You want to try to keep that right. A lot more right than where I'm at now. It's like a 5-iron in, but into this green, a 5-iron isn't too bad because you can stick it into this right here, this like hill, and get a nice little roll up. Now I'm gonna probably have to overpower this 4-iron a touch. Maybe go for a slight fast. See if we can get this up here. Perfect it. Got the overpower. Alright, we're gonna be trying to save par here. Downhill lie. That should be good enough to save par. Yes, it is. Okay. 2 pars in a row. Still an 8 under though, which is really good. I'm kind of right on line for kind of where I've been shooting. You can drive this. I've done it every time. if you just want to try to get a little bit extra. Otherwise, you have to play this back and bring a 4-iron, 5-iron in, which you can do as well. I'm going to grip and rip, though. Lots of fairway to work with here, just as long as I don't very fast it, which would be bad. But a nice, cool, calm 101 gets us right up onto this fairway with the big boy, 295. We are not going to do that. We're going to bring a nice little sand wedge in here. Back slope to work with. So I just add a little bit of sauce to it. Work this right into the hole. That's a good line. Perfect. See if we can get another birdie in our belt. Yes, we can. Okay. 9 under. Actually, probably a pretty good shot at a 12 under here. Alright, this looks scary uphill, but just a straight up 5-iron is what I usually take into this, and it works pretty well. It hits pretty solid into this, but it still rolls just because firm greens. And also bringing a 5-iron in, you know, it's gonna roll a bit, so. I've been having the best luck bringing just a straight 5-iron in. Might actually add a little bit of spin to it, but we really just wanna hit solid into this hill. A little too much. Should have de-lofted a touch, but that still works. Because if you hit solid into that hill, it hits, sticks, and actually takes a nice little bounce to the right. But playing off to the left side, that's fine. I mean, just looking at the green, you can kind of see where do you want to avoid. Right. Long right. Keep it left if anything. Hell, if you're really scared, put it into the bunker or into the rough or something. Just keep this thing left. Fairly certain this is one of those putts that had a little bit of ghost break to it. But it looks straight, so I'm going to believe it. See what happens. Because I've been in this area before. Yeah. Yeah. I thought this was one of those putts that did. It was that. It was that. It was that putt. Almost that same exact location. Had a little bit of a ghost break to it. Just one of those things I gotta remember. Grip and rip. Par 5. We're getting out the big dog, dude. Grip and rip. We're going for eagles. Don't fade. Don't draw. Just slam it home. Up and over. Go for it. Even if you have a little bit of a shorter driver, you can still go for this. And now we have to play the game. I played this hill back here. I wanted to take a little bit of speed off of this 3-wood and kind of funnel it back towards the hole. So that's what I suggest. Use this hill back here to your advantage, which we are going to try to do right now. Too much off of it. This will still work out, though. That hill's still going to take off a bit. That actually worked out perfect. I did a little bit too much draw on that one. It took a little bit too much distance off. But it still worked out, so I guess just do that. That's not normally how I get it close, but I guess if it works, it works. We better make this for an eagle. I hate everything. Gosh darn it. I pulled it a little bit. Oh, that sucks. Birdie. 7-footer out. Ugh. Yuck. Alright. This hole has given me the most problems out of any hole. Too fast? Water. Perfect? Dreaded straight ball? Me at least? Water. Slow? Water. You have to hit this with quite a bit of precision. As long as you can hit the fairway, it stays in the fairway pretty nicely. But that is the name of the game. Oh, we might be okay? Oh my gosh. That is like best case scenario with a very fast. Whew. Tough green to hold too, but here we go. We're gonna give it a shot. You see the problem areas. Avoid them. Get up. Beautiful. Honestly, I mean, I know I said avoid them, but going long is actually probably your best bet. Being down in this little ravine here, you actually have a decent shot coming in for birdie if you land short right. It's actually not too bad. Short left or left usually puts you into the rough, so you have a little bit of a splash shot to work with. But there isn't really like a bad place to be on this green. Just getting up to this plateau, of course, you know, makes it a lot easier for birdie, but there are other places that you can make birdie from. The key, though, is the drive. I got really lucky with my drive. That should have been water. I got really lucky. We were on pace for a 12 under, but we'll take an 11 under instead. We had a little bit of a run there. That was a hell of a first round. Those are the scores you're looking at now. Of course, these are going to be towards like the top of leaderboards, more than likely, through the CC divisions. But this course is scoreable. It is scoreable. You can get into a ton of problems. There are a ton of places to go into the water, to end up short in a bunker or rough and have a pretty tough second shot coming up. The key to this course is just trying to keep it into the fairway as best as you can. Trying to keep it in the fairway. Getting the fairway in regulation is really key here at this course in particular. But as you saw, you can recover on certain holes. You can. And sometimes going into the rough, really, it doesn't matter at all on some holes. But you can get into some really ugly situations on this course going into the rough or going off the green into the rough or into a bunker or something of that nature. Didn't really see too much of it this round for me, but yeah, that's it. That's the Steeman Willie Charity Classic Gator Creek Country Club. Victory Lane Sports. Good luck with your rounds this week. Let me know how you do. Always interested. And again, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Think about subscribing, turn notifications on. Everything goes above and beyond for the channel, and I greatly appreciate everybody who stops by to watch these videos. Tomorrow, big video. Be on the lookout for it, hopefully. I really hope I can get done editing it. But yeah, that's all she wrote. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. And we will catch you on the next one. Deuces.